Hello and welcome to the 2014-2015 edition of Visual Literacy Showcase. I'm Ida Thompson, Director of Instructional Technology Services, and our visual literacy activities are coordinated district-wide by our library media consultant, Diana Carr. We are really excited about this upcoming year of great entries that we will have an opportunity to share with you through our Showcase program. Today, we're hosting our first one of the season, and we will be focusing on photography entries. And we had lots and lots of them that were submitted from our schools and our staff across the district. And we're going to be sharing some of them with you today on our program. We really want to remind all of our teachers that this is the first of 5. So pull out this brochure that was given to you by your information technology specialist. It reviews all of the contests, all of the deadlines, and everything you need to know about how you and your students can participate. This information is also available on our website, or you can call us at 231-6803 if you have questions or need more information. It's going to be another exciting year, and we're really anxious to talk about the entries on today's show. We have a very special guest, a new guest to the VLF Showcase program, and we're honored to welcome today Mr. Rufus Boatwright. Welcome to Richland One and to Visual Literacy Showcase.
Well, thank you very much. I've had an opportunity to look at some of your entries here, and you have some outstanding artwork and photographs here.
Yeah, we have some very talented students and staff across our district, and that's why we love doing this program. So today we will be talking about these wonderful photographs that were submitted, but before we get into that individual commentary, tell our audience a little bit about your background as a photographer. And I know you really do a lot of work with videography as well, but today we want to focus on your work as a photographer.
Well, my photography really started out as a God-given talent with artwork. I have painted and I have done a lot of artwork and moved up from that into photography. With the photography, I signed on to be an art dealer and learned a good bit about appreciation of photography and the composition, depth of field, and other various things regarding photography. I've also gone to school in photography.
Yeah.
So learning that and realizing what you're looking at and the creativity of it is really something great. As you indicated, video is my field, but we also, one of the main preference in video is also doing photography.
Yes.
They work hand in hand.
Yeah.
I've been in business for about 20 years. Doing photography and video, and it is something great.
Well, we are really glad to have you participate with us. And, you know, as you can see, we have talented students and staff in Richland One from these entries. So what advice would you give to a student who is interested in pursuing a career in photography?
My advice would be stick to their guns in their creativity. Let no one take that away from them. But as they are being creative, get the technical side of it. Learn from the schools, learn from the teachers. Take it there and be proactive. Show your talent. Be one of those kind of students who let your work stand out and don't stop just in the classroom.
Do you recommend a portfolio over time for a student who may be interested in photography and starting to use different cameras and to take different photographs?
I would highly recommend that. And I would recommend that from the point that when they actually started, even if they were preteens, to save all of those so they can see a progression of the maturity of their work.
Excellent, excellent. Well, today we will have an opportunity to share some of these great entries with you. And I want to remind our viewing audience that while these are wonderful photographs, they've all been done in relationship to instructional activities in the classroom. And that's across all grades and across all content levels. As a matter of fact, the first photograph we'd like to talk about today really deals with math concepts. This was submitted by an elementary student, and they were working in their class on multiplication facts and looking at patterns and numbers and patterns in numbers. And that's why this entry was submitted.
Okay. Well, this entry, if I may.
Certainly.
is one of those kind of entries. When you look at the various patterns and how it moves, you can tell that the person and the concept that they had is definitely in the mathematical position, because it's one of those kind of visuals that really stands out to you.
Yes.
So what they did with this was really outstanding, I think, in the respect of looking at the various shades and colors and just the multiplication of squares that they have. So it's a very good photo.
Yes, very, very interesting. So again, we have lots of subjects and content areas that are represented in the entries. I want to start, let's just take a look at this one. This one was also done by an elementary student, and it's called The Water Garden. This is a very attractive photograph.
I think this photograph is unique in the respect that, you know, wherever they were traveling when they took this, that the person who saw it had the visual perception to say, that's a great shot. And they brought that shot out. When you look at the details and you look at the depth of field with the water in the background, it gives you a good feeling that these lilies are just something great for the imagination. So I would say the person who actually took this has an imagination to be a great photographer.
Yeah, this is beautiful. It's, you could frame that and hang that proudly in your home, I would say.
Yes.
And, you know, we get really excited because we always want to see what the students have done. And more importantly, how the teachers have integrated photography into their instruction. This photograph was done by a student in our 3-year-old K program. So we're starting very, very early with using photography as a medium to express ideas and to support our students' learning.
I think it's a unique photograph. It kind of makes me think of the little girl who actually has the polka dot shoes matching with the piano keys.
Yes.
So it's kind of a great combination as you look at it. Actually, when you think about it, it's very simplistic composition when you see that the color scheme pretty much matches.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Very clear, very crisp photograph.
Yes.
Yeah. And starting early to have our students learn that they can express ideas and they can learn through these various media. And that's why we have this contest overall. Each year we get lots and lots of photographs that are in black and white. I love black and white photographs. I think there's just something special and different about them. And I may not be holding this the way the photographer intended, but it was about, this again was done by a second grade student at the elementary level, and they were looking at different nature scenes and using photography as a medium to capture scenes in nature.
Okay. Well, it's a very unique picture again. I'm looking at it, and it's kind of almost a difficult thing to compliment to or to comment to, because when you look at the photograph and you're looking at the pine cone and you're looking at the surroundings, you kind of wonder, where is this photo being taken care of? This is a backyard or out in the woods? But I think the black and white composition is good.
Yes, it's very good, very good. And so we want to encourage all of our students and our teachers who are thinking about future contests to look at these examples to help you get some ideas of how you can integrate photography into your classroom. One of the popular categories for this contest is photo essay, where the photographer takes a series of photographs and puts them together to tell a story. This entry is an example of that. This was submitted by a high school student, and it's called A Progression of Pathways. A series of very crisp and clear photographs.
It's a unique concept, and it's one obviously where his travels have taken him, and it brings it home for me. And the reason why is I've done something like this, and it was about cross bridges like this one here.
Yes.
And it was taking a series of pictures of cross bridges that took you different places. So I'm very fond of this because I think that really brings out the artistic flair for him to go to these various places and actually photograph these things.
Yes, and put them together in such an attractive format for our audience to enjoy. And so another category, because the contests are organized around different categories, because as you see, there are so many diverse ways that a photograph can be taken and the medium in which it can be used. This one is one from a category that we call hand painted, where the photographer has a great picture, but then they go back and they hand paint portions or all of that photograph. This again was done by one of our high school students. and it's called In Memory.
I like the concept of this student who actually put this together because it really took some thought. If you think about the flag, you think about the leaves in the fall, the actual soldier himself. I mean, I think they really did a good job to actually hand paint this when you look at the details. And my background in art is pen and ink. Okay, so when I think of pen and ink and I think of the details and the shading, that actually took some work to bring that out so you could see it. The shadows of trees and limbs here in the background. Excellent.
This is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm sure that everyone associated with that was very proud of that entry. I want to see if I can reach this one and talk a little about this one because this was done by a kindergarten student. I think it is so delightful. It's called Using Our Sense of Taste. And one of the things about the contest is that teachers are encouraged to use this to support what they're teaching. Obviously, this concept is being taught in kindergarten, our senses, our 5 senses. And the students in this photograph have decided to focus on their sense of taste.
Okay. Well, it's quite unique looking at the color scheme, but just to think that someone of that age took this photo, I mean, that took some skills just in itself.
Yes.
Obviously, you got some early talent there.
I think
Definitely.
so. And using things in their classroom, things that they're teaching and learning about really make good subjects. Many times we think we have to do something different or special, but looking around us, the world around us provides many opportunities for great photographs. And I think that's a good example. So we congratulate those kindergarten students. This entry is another very interesting one. It was done by a 5th grade student, and it's called 3D Fooled Me, Shadow, Perspective, and Emphasis.
Well, it's definitely, when you look at it, it just definitely gives you an illusion. No doubt about that. Because you're wondering, are they shooting straight up, down, or sideways? And it's actually a tree growing out of a tree, you would think.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but looking at it from the depth of field perspective, that this is out of focus, and the plant itself, even the tree is out of focus, but the plant is in focus. And you can see the sharpness of it. So the concept that they took and they focused in on just that piece brings the whole picture out.
And as you say, that takes planning. Yeah, you can't just pick up the camera and then just snap something, but it takes some thought.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have to have some time to actually look at that and focus your concept that that's what you want to have.
Yes. I'd like to share this one because this one was done by a member of our district support staff. And I want to remind everyone out there that all of our contests and competitions are open to everyone in Richland One, whether you're a principal, a teacher, a student, or you work in a support role, everyone is eligible to enter. And this beautiful photograph is an example of that. This was submitted by a member of our maintenance department who has a very obvious love and talent for all things that grow and are beautiful. And this photograph is entitled Reach for the Sky.
I think Reach for the Sky is really a good name for that. When you think of the angle in which she took the photo, it's actually pointed up, reaching. And having the background out of focus, it just brings you more attention to the actual definitions of the flower. I think the clarity of it is good also.
Yes,
so
yes.
you've got a great photo here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Again, I want to highlight a photo essay which was submitted by students from our Health Sciences Magnet program at C.A. Johnson High School. And this photograph shows all of the different health careers that can be explored through the Health Magnet program at that high school. It's a very large entry, and I'm not sure that I can reach it, but we do want our audience to see these great photographs.
I see you have a varied subject here, from health
Yes.
science to food
Yes.
science. Excellent. Biomedical. And all of these are what the students actually work on?
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
And the photographs, I think, tell that story. Another example of a photo essay and how a series of photographs can be put together to tell a story.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to take a break, and we want you to look over the shoulders of some of our students at Gadsden Elementary as they were working on their photography entries in their classroom. Take a look.
In first grade, our students are learning about ABC books. So I have an RTI group, a response to intervention group, and we are creating an ABC book about Gadsden. Once we started on our project, we decided to use some of the photographs as entries into the photography contest for the Visual Literacy Festival here in Columbia.
I tried to take a good picture.
Each student was allowed to create a list of items or things that could be found around the school, like A could be an anthill, B for books. And so what we did was we took iPads and we went around the school and took pictures of these items.
I had to take pictures around the school. Took a picture of the letter keys for K.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that segment of watching our students at work. And as we continue with some commentary on some of these great photographs, this is a very different and very interesting entry, Mr. Boatwright, and it's called Mythical Creature. And they've obviously done some manipulation here to get this photograph.
I'd be curious to know what program they use, such as a Photoshop or Adobe type program, to actually do this and put this together, because when you look at it, being an elephant with possibly an eagle, I mean, everything is different on it. To put that composition together in a lithograph and knowing what it takes to make one, it took some talent. It took some talent. That's quite unique.
Very interesting. And this is a beautiful photograph that I think would just help you calm down from a very hectic day. Beautiful, serene photograph.
Now, I've spoken about this one earlier, and I'm really impressed with it. When I think of their depth of field, being that the water is slightly out of focus, but you can even see some landscape back here, that this position of reflective of the sky and the color composition, the clarity of the photo, I'm really impressed with this one being taken. To have that, I would not even mind being there.
Oh, I know. It's just beautiful, just beautiful. And as you can see, we have very, very talented young people. And speaking of talent, all of these are great entries. But there are two that we would like to highlight as we move to the end of our program. And I'd like to begin with this photograph, which our judges gave a very special recognition, the Award for Creative Excellence. This entry is entitled Multiple Selfies. Everybody has a phone and everybody is taking pictures and taking selfies. But this is truly a unique perspective on a selfie.
You know, when I look at that being a selfie and looking at the student that's behind it, when you actually see the kaleidoscope of images going back and it's the same image, that the media art, I would almost put this in a category of media art. Because you look at the way it is done, you kind of wonder the filters and the different things they actually use to create that. The image is very sharp. You can look at the glass and see how the glass is a little out of focus but scratched. So I think it's a great artistic composition for a photo.
Beautiful. And whoever thought that photography would be elevated to this level with all of the technology and all the applications to really make a photograph interesting and appealing.
It is still changing.
Yes, and the final award recognition that we'd like to make today is for our grand prize. Our judges gave this photograph grand prize. It's called Cross Fade, and it was done by a 12th grade student here in our district.
Okay. This photo is so unique. And the reason it is that it's a thought-provoking photo. It's a photo that is a mature photo, but when I look at the wheat in it and the person thinking, it makes me think on a national level or a world level.
Global level.
A global level, because you think about hunger. It makes me think about food. It makes me think about what is this person thinking when he thinks about the world and this type of process. So I think this is really thought-provoking. This would almost be a classic poster.
This is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. We are so proud of both of these students and everyone who entered, but we're going to give you an opportunity to hear from the creators of these two beautiful photographs from our recent awards program. But we are really excited that after the judges went through all of those many categories and all of those piles and piles and piles of entries that we received, they were asked to choose our grand prize award. And this is kind of best in show photograph. The winner of this student gets a very nice ribbon that distinguishes that entry as the grand prize for this year's photography competition. And we are very excited to present the grand prize award to AC Flora's Mark Smith.
I always try to search for new ways to display my photography, and so I decided to use a technique called double exposure. And so I used Photoshop and use a picture of wheat off of Google Images, and I just used a blending tool on Photoshop and a portrait of my face and blended the two photos. In my history class, we're talking about how food shortages were present during World War II. And so I decided to use a big contributor to food nourishment, such as wheat, and sort of a serious expression to convey that the seriousness of food shortages during World War II.
The winner for this year's Creative Excellence Award is Jalen Mosley, whose work, Multiple Selfies, is the winner. Jalen is a student at
I didn't have an opportunity to say thank you to all of our teachers or to showcase all of the great interest we received from our faculty and staff, but they are on display here in the studio, and we hope that you will visit Richland Mall and get a first-hand look at all the beautiful photographs that were submitted for this year's competition. Mr. Boatwright, thank you for being our very special guest.
Well, thank you for having me. I have enjoyed viewing the photos and looking at the variations of the entries, so this has been excellent. Thank you.
Well, we will invite you back again.
Okay, thank you.
And we want to thank you, our viewing audience, for tuning in, and we'd like to remind all of our teachers and all of our parents and all of our friends out in our learning community, this brochure gives additional information about the competition for this year, and feel free to contact us via our website or by calling our office at 231-6803 if you need additional information. Again, congratulations to all of our winners and everyone who participated in this year's photography competition. And we will see you soon on the next edition of Visual Literacy Showcase.